I'm Adam. This is Dan, and we're here to talk about Wonder Woman today.
Yeah. Um, so, I mean, I've had some days to reflect on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I left the theater happy that I saw it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just sort of a general, that was pretty good. The more I've thought about it, the more I've actually come to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite movie I've seen this year. It probably won't even make, my, top 10 list
Yeah.
if I do one. But I did really enjoy it, and I think it's probably the strongest of the DC superhero movies that we've gotten so far.
Yeah, I mean, when the movie was originally coming out, when they originally had like the first teaser trailers for it,
Mhm.
like I kept looking at it, going like, all right, this looks like basically you took Captain America: The First Adventure, swapped him out with Wonder Woman, and then made it take place
In
in
World War
World War
One
One
instead
instead of World War Two.
Yeah,
And I was just like, like the trailers never blew me away.
right.
And then, but of course, I was gonna see it either way.
Well, yeah.
It's Wonder Woman. I mean,
Yeah, it's
a Wonder Woman movie has been long overdue, in my opinion.
yeah,
And I wasn't, I was looking forward to seeing it, but I wasn't expecting to be blown away or anything by it. And then all the reviews came out like a week before,
yeah,
and it was all like, oh, like generally overwhelmingly positive reviews where everyone was giving it fucking 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10s, fucking 5
Yeah.
4 stars, fucking A pluses, whatever. And then I got excited. I was just like, oh shit, like this is actually being regarded as being a really good movie. But then I was also reminded at the same time, because I was like, well, Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice also had decent reviews, like early reviews,
yeah.
and that didn't turn out that good.
No,
So, I went in there basically with a defense, thinking to myself, like, all right, like, it might be really good or it might just be shitty.
yeah,
But, I mean, I walked out of the theater happy with it.
yeah,
I mean, I was genuinely very happy with the way it played out. Now, granted, a lot of people, I've read reviews and I've met people who've seen it, and they were sitting there going like, "Oh my god, like this is the best DC movie in the past however many years." Now, granted, like if you're,
since the end of the Nolan Batman movies, probably. It's
oh
the
yeah,
best.
it's
If you
definitely
include those, no, not even close. But
no, it's definitely the best of like the bunch that have come out so far
Yeah.
in the DC cinematic universe
Yeah.
that they want to create. It's definitely the best one. But I mean, I've seen people going like, "Oh my god!" Like they caught up with Marvel in one movie sort of thing, and I'm like, "No, it wasn't. No,
like
it's a good step. It's a good
start.
a good start."
Yeah.
But I
and
mean,
it's a good start. And if I'd like to start with the strengths, anyway. Like one of the things that I did like about the movie was that for the most part, the writing was fairly strong, and not so much in dialogue where it's like catchy dialogue and big speeches, but just in the sense of like they knew what their story was, they knew the point they were trying to get across, and I think they did that well. Because one of the things that the DC universe has struggled with is the image of being all dark and gritty, and it's all serious and blah blah blah, and you contrast that with the Marvel movies, which they'll put out their big messages and all that, but they have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And this movie, I think, strikes that good balance of it's certainly more fun than Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, but it still takes itself seriously enough, and I like that its message is not this big this big rallying call of and we're gonna be the best and we're gonna save everyone. The message is that there are shades of gray and you need to learn to accept
like
that.
one of the things that I really really liked about the movie was, and I'm probably gonna mispronounce her name, was Gal Gadot.
That's how I pronounce it too. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't say the T, right? It's just Gal Gadot.
As far as I know,
Okay.
I've heard a couple of people, but I don't know how official that was. I think
Okay.
they were just making it up. But
All right,
yeah,
well,
Gal
Gail.
Gadot.
Let's just say Gail. The Gail that plays Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She ended
Oh
up.
yeah, no, she was great.
She was great. Like she was.
She
one of
has
those things-
exactly the right the right amount of intensity and fierceness when she's in battle, but when she's not in battle, she can be soft, she can be sweet, fun, even funny when she needs to be, and she does a good job again without necessarily big speeches or big dialogue of getting across the point of when she sees the gray areas and she starts understanding that. You see her demeanor change, you see her expressions change, but then also at the same time she still has that underlying, but I have to be better than that because that's what I do.
Chris Pine, he wasn't bad either. He was
like, I really liked him.
He was very charismatic. He was very likable.
And for him, a lot of it comes down to the charisma and the charm. But also, again, he does a good job getting across the part of, like, he's there doing his job. Mm-hmm. He believes it's the right thing to do, but he accepts that sometimes that means you have to not be the hero. Yeah. You have to work behind the scenes and maybe get your hands dirty.
Yeah,
and he does a good job of getting that across while still you, the audience, are on his side.
Yeah, I mean, I really dug his character. I thought he was funny when he had to be funny. He was emotional when he had to be emotional. He's got dramatic in the dramatic parts. He kicked ass when he needed to kick ass. Like, he was a very, multi-dimensional character. Mm-hmm. One thing I will say, though, and this is nothing with the character, this isn't a nitpick or a complaint or anything, but in the movie, when he first meets Diana, okay, and then she decides she's going with him, back to basically fight the war with him, and they're on that boat, and then, like, she lays down, and then he goes to lay on the other side of the boat, and then he has a conversation with her about why he can't sleep with her, not sexually, but just actual sleep.
Sleep next to her.
And he explains, man and woman relationship, blah, 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 and then she eventually talks him into, and he does it, right? Yeah. And then there's the moment later on when she gets to London, where she sees a couple walking by them, they're holding hands, and then she's asking, why are they holding hands? And he goes, oh, well, because they're together. Mm-hmm. So she goes to grab his hand, and he's like, no, like, we're not together.
Way, yeah.
I thought that was leading up to reveal that he was gay. I honestly, when that was first going on, because it's not like before that, like, they showed, like, he was, like, head over heels in love with her.
Right.
Like, he wasn't really commenting.
He wasn't, like, on the island of Amazon.
Yeah, like, oh my God, like, a bunch of, gorgeous women. It was something like that. I honestly thought that that's what they were setting up. I thought they were going to set up that he was a gay character. And that was going to be, like, maybe, like, a little funny thing where it was, like, maybe she had some interest in him and he would have said, like, no, I'm gay, and then he would have to explain what that is. And then,
I mean, that would have been kind of an interesting way to go with it.
It would have been an interesting way to go with it. And like I said, I actually honestly thought they were going to go that way. Because I'm sitting there just going, like, she's a gorgeous woman. Why wouldn't you want to sleep with her? Not sexually, but, like, sleep next to her. Why wouldn't you want to hold her hand, But I get it, as they go on, it's like, yeah, I understand why, because they're trying to show he's a nice guy. He's just trying to be a gentleman. Like, to be completely honest, like, it's been a few days since I saw this movie, and none of the action sequences have really stuck with me. Yeah. To the point where, like, I look back at them and I'm like, they were just okay in my opinion. They weren't fantastic. Like, they were well done, but they weren't this fantastic. They weren't this spectacular. Feast for the eyes.
See, I'm very much in the same boat here, because I remember, like, the main points, like when she crosses no man's land to get across the trenches, and she's got her shield and she's blocking the bullets, and and that inspires, like, her guys to go, and then that inspires the military to go. Like,
that's easily the best scene in the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's the best scene because right after that is when the theme song finally kicks in, which was a good moment when, like, she stands up and her theme song finally kicks in. Like, it built to it. I like that. Yeah. But anyway, that was the best scene. Like, I remember that one, and I remember when she takes down the church, the clock, the bell tower, or whatever, to get the sniper. Yeah, I remember the big ones like that, and I know stuff happened in between, and some of it was cool looking, where especially when she gets into that big room of guys and just starts smacking them, and they're all going through the walls, and that was good. A good scene. But it was a good scene, and I like seeing Wonder Woman do that because that's Wonder Woman. But it didn't. It's like you said, it didn't blow me away. It wasn't like some big thing that I'm going to remember forever.
No, I'm going to make a quick point to this. I didn't hate the villains. Okay, but I have the same problem with these villains as I've had in recent Marvel film villains, where they're kind of cool, they're a little interesting, but they don't do enough with them. No. And then by the end of the movie, they're gone, and then this movie does what some more recent Marvel movies have done, which I really hate, which is okay, there's this villain, and guess what? When you get towards the end, hey, surprise, there's another villain, and this is the real villain. Yeah. And it happened with Iron Man 3, it happened with Doctor Strange recently, comes to mind. They've been doing that lately, and Wonder Woman just did the same thing. And this is the weakest part of the whole movie, in my opinion.
Now, the better villain was, what's her name?
I forget.
Dr. Poison, whatever it was.
That was like her nickname or something, yeah.
Like that was her nickname. I don't remember her real name. But anyway, like, she was cool looking. She had, like, the mask because her face was messed up.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, you understood her motivation. She was just sort of mad scientist.
Yeah.
But also, like, you know, she wanted respect. She wanted to be known for something. It just happened that she was crazy and wanted to kill people.
Yeah.
Which, you know, again, is a little over the top, but it's a villain. And for a villain, that's fine. And I liked her performance. And she was written a little bit better than the general guy. In that, again, I got what she was doing. But more importantly, there was that scene where Chris Pine is doing his spy thing because he's supposed to be a spy in the movie. And one of the few scenes where we actually see him doing that and doing it well is he's posing as a German guy and he talks to her and he starts getting in her head. Yeah. Like, you can see it. And I like that because it showed that there was more to her than just wanting to win a war and just kill people. She wanted, you know, respect. She wanted to be known for something. Mm-hmm. She just thought that because of her talents, this was the way to do it. Yeah. And that was cool.
It's like the film didn't need that.
No.
The film didn't need a surprise villain at the end. And it's like, I get why it was the way it was. You know, you gotta build up to some big climactic battle and shit like that. And clearly, like, Wonder Woman's gonna beat the fuck out of the German lieutenant.
The general guy, yeah.
The general, because, you know, she's Wonder Woman, he's just a normal guy. Although he was, I guess, huffing ether or something that made him
Dr. Poison
strong.
has some sort of, like, other gas that instead of killing people enhances their abilities. Now, I will say...
Which they don't go into at all.
They don't go into how that works. And
more to the point, he wasn't going to be Ares.
Right.
Because I sat there and I thought this was going to be... Because, like we were saying earlier about the gray areas, I thought the whole idea of the movie was going to be like, she's going to find out Ares isn't alive, or Ares isn't here. It's just, this is mankind. This is what mankind does.
That, like, I entertained that thought, and that probably would have been a little more interesting.
And that's why
that again maybe is part of why the ending was disappointing. Then, because again, as much as David Thewlis gives a good performance, like, that is kind of the moral of the movie. Is like, people have flaws, but they can also overcome those flaws. There is no, like, pure evil or pure good. And
all right, I don't really have much more to say about it. I guess we'll just go into our final overall thoughts, and I'll let you lead it this time. Overall thoughts in your
So it's like I said, you know, like, we had our problems and I discussed them, but even though I went into some length, it wasn't enough to make me not enjoy the movie. Mm-hmm. Most of the movie was very solid, well written. One thing I didn't go into was, like I mentioned in a past review, I'm kind of a broken record. I'm like, you know, it doesn't give time to build things up. This movie did. It let things happen and play out. Yeah. And we saw, you know, character interactions. We saw them grow and change. And I like that. And for that reason, plus all the other good stuff that I said, I'm going to jump over 7 and give it an 8 out of 10. Because it was colorful. It was fun. You know, it's not the most memorable. Again, it's probably not going to make my top 10. But I give it a lot of points for the things it did right. And the things it did wrong could have been worse.
All right. So you give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right. This will be the first one we differ. Not a lot. Slightly, though. I thought it was well paced. Yeah. For a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, I think it was. It breezed through, didn't drag, unlike, you know, in Covenant and even Pirates to an extent. The action scenes were good, although, like I said, they're not all that memorable in a way. There's a few that stand out in my mind, but everything else just kind of a blur and just didn't make that big of an impression on me. I think Gal Gadot is probably the best choice for a Wonder Woman now. She definitely earned her lasso of truth.
Yeah,
she definitely she earned her lasso of truth. And she earned her headband. You know, she's very good, and I was very happy. I was happy with Chris Pine. I thought he was very charming. I was disappointed by all 3 of the villains. I didn't particularly care for them. I had the exact same problem, like I said, I've had with the Marvel villains in some movies, where it's like, they're kind of cool, they're kind of interesting, but they're kind of gone before you know it. Before you have any connection or find them all intimidating. They're already gone.
Yeah.
I did not like the ending. I thought the ending could have been handled a lot better, especially just the last, like you said, the God battle. That definitely could have been handled a lot better. The things I had was that, like, the movie, even though it's different from Captain America, it does definitely borrow a lot of elements from it. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of like, at the same time, it's like, yeah, I've seen this already.
Yeah.
Just like how Captain America comes and he gets a ragtag team of misfits,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's exactly what they do too, kind of.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I'm not going to give it an 8. I am going to give it a 7. I think it's a good film. I definitely highly recommend anyone who has any interest in it to go out and see it. You will not be you will not hate it. You definitely will. It's definitely worth the money that you will pay for it. And like I said, I think Gal Gadot is here to stay as Wonder Woman, and I can't wait to see what she does in Justice League and potentially, hopefully, Wonder Woman 2.
Or whatever else they use her for.
But so that's my final score.
Yeah.
So that's final scores are 8 7. Again, first time we had a different score,
but
granted,
positive,
both very positive reviews.
Yeah,
so.
very positive. Both saying, if you haven't seen it yet, go.
Yeah.
If you have seen it and you want to see it again, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I mean, again, I have no desire to
right,
go
you
spend
don't.
money again on it.
But I'm saying, if you want to,
if someone did, I have nothing against that. Like,
yeah, and if you want to, it's a good movie to support.
Mm-hmm.
Like I won't get into the politics behind it, but just because it is probably the strongest of the DC universe movies, show them that this is more like what we want. Could be improved, but more like what we want than more Man of Steel.
Not only that, but like maybe get Marvel off their ass to give us some female. That's a good point too. Film.
That's an excellent point.
Because I don't know about you, but I've always wanted
Black Widow is way overdue.
Yeah, I've always wanted a Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Even if
it's like co-starring.
I even said if
Hawkeye
it was Black Widow / Hawkeye movie, like I would have been.
Yeah,
okay
a lot of
with
people think that would be a good idea.
But well, time will tell. We'll see how well.
Hopefully, this opens the doors. But
hopefully. All right, so that's gonna do it for us this time around. Maybe we'll be back with the Mummy.
Yeah,
or
maybe.
as I call it, Mission Mummy or Mummy Impossible.
Yes, Mummy Impossible.
It's the first start to the Dark Universe, as they're calling it.
Oh God.
All right, on that, we'll say goodbye.